I know what you're thinking. Ultra Instinct Goku has to win over Ultra Ego Vegeta because UI is an angel technique and UE is a Hakaishin technique, and angels are stronger than gods of destruction. But it's not that easy. So today we present Ultra Instinct Goku versus Ultra Ego Vegeta. What does each fighter have to do to win the fight? Find out next. Now available in the Geekdom 101 store once again for a limited time, Instinct versus Ego merchandise line. Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta. Choose your path. Both pathways lead to incredible power offensively and defensively and godliness. Pick up your shirt today or whatever other piece of merch you want. Comes in many different colors and sizes and is some of my favorite art ever. First time you're ever going to see UI and UE on t-shirts is right here in the Geekdom store. I'll leave a link down below. Pick yours up today because they're going fast. Goku and Vegeta have been rivals for many, many years, starting back in the early parts of Dragon Ball Z and having not one but two battles in DBZ. They also fought in Dragon Ball GT when Vegeta was possessed by a baby, and in Dragon Ball Super, they kind of became training partners, but still fought once in a while. But at this point now in the story of Dragon Ball, as we are deep now into the manga, beyond just the Tournament of Power and beyond Moro and Granola, we now see that they both have been training with the Angel Whis and the God of Destruction Beerus, and they are both at their absolute peak in power. Make sure you check out the video that I did recently called The Strongest in Dragon Ball Ultra Ego Vegeta, where I break down exactly why Ultra Ego Vegeta is more dangerous than you even realize. But today we're going to match him up against Ultra Instinct Goku. Who would actually win the fight? Which transformation or technique or state of mind works better for combat? We'll talk about all that today. And joining me once again, we've done several of these. Please welcome back Prided Waif. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How's everything going on with you?
Everything's great, bro. We've been doing these all year, and they're fun to do. So let's break down UI Goku versus UI Vegeta. Now, as I said in the intro, yes, that is a fact that angels are stronger than gods of destruction. However, Goku is not an angel. Yes, UI is an angelic technique, but he's not an angel. He's not a child of the Grand Priest. And then Vegeta is not a god of destruction. And being a god of destruction requires many, many more years of training. Vegeta's just starting out with this, learning Hakai. So we're going to take it from where they're at now at the end of the Granola arc when Black Frieza one-shot at both of them. So we're not even going to factor him into this because it's a different level. So what do you think Vegeta has to do to beat Goku? I feel like physical strikes are going to be difficult because Ultra Instinct is a technique where the body moves on its own, and it's really very defensively potent. He can dodge and avoid getting hit. So if Goku can avoid getting hit, not just with Ultra Instinct but also with teleportation, what can Vegeta really do?
Well, it's gonna be really hard for Vegeta in the beginning because depending on what Goku goes with, you don't know if he gonna go with True Ultra Instinct or he could go with Perfected, Ultra Instinct, or Completed Ultra Instinct, whatever you want to call it,
The
the
silver
Silver Hair
haired.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the beginning, if let's just say if he does with the silver hair at the beginning, I don't really think Vegeta really has much of an answer. But as time by goes by, Vegeta will start winning because he's gonna get stronger because he's taking more damage and Goku's, accuracy is going down. So it's gonna be a much more level playing field, but it's gonna go into Vegeta's favor because Vegeta already knows how Goku fights anyway. So and Vegeta is more of a combat, specialist in terms of thinking with the mental. So with the ultra ego, he has free will over his mind. So having free will over his mind, he'll be able to basically, outdo and outlast Goku. But if Goku goes True Ultra Instinct, now that's more of an interesting battle because True Ultra Instinct, Goku also gets stronger. Well, Goku gets stronger regardless in Ultra Instinct, so it's kind of weird how the accuracy would go down. But in True Ultra Instinct, he could fight the way he wants to fight. So that's
Right.
much more of a even battle. But in the end, I think True Ultra Instinct Goku would end up going. having the edge over Ultra Ego Vegeta because Ultra Ego Vegeta can't take too much damage. And since styles make fights and Goku knows how Vegeta fights and why they're so good and equal, equally matched in a lot of areas, to be honest, Goku feints a lot. And a lot of the feints always gets Vegeta. It always gets Vegeta. And dealing with the teleportation, I don't really think Vegeta has much of an issue dealing with instant
Well,
transmission and
remember, he knows how to use it too. We have to remember also, and this is a factor we could talk about, is Vegeta prior to learning Ultra Ego also learned from the Yard Rat. He learned teleportation. He learned Force Spirit Fission. So what we have here is we have Goku who knows the Spirit Bomb, aka the Genki Dama, and can gather up Genki energy around him. But Vegeta can take that energy and manipulate it too. So in some ways that could cancel itself out. But you're right in that they have trained together and fought together so many times. Let's not forget they were the Room of Spirit and Time for 3 years at one point in Dragon Ball Super. So they probably know each other very well, as you stated. But just to make sure I got you as far as your theory goes, what you think might happen is early in the fight, Vegeta will try to strike Goku physically. Goku may be using the UI speed to dodge, but if Goku counterattacks, Vegeta, knowing that there's going to be a counterattack coming, can absorb the blow like he did with Granola and Ultra Ego and thus get stronger. Is that kind of where you're going with it?
yeah, but it's it's a little bit more difficult because Goku can do the whatchamacallit, what they call it, the air, the air fist or whatever. He can do that too, and Vegeta could probably take that and get stronger, but and use Hakai back. But look, it's actually interesting. It's more interesting than we actually getting there because now I'm kind of starting to think. I think only Goku would have the upper hand in the beginning, but as time goes by, it becomes even more interesting.
Yeah, you
So
mentioned that you think that if Goku can finish the fight early, then it's sort of like when we talked about Broly and Orange Piccolo, that if they can finish the fight early before Vegeta gets his bearings, it's going to be a victory. But Vegeta gets stronger and stronger the more he gets hit. But then the question is, and this is where things get tricky, this argument is not an easy one, man. I think there's Dragon Ball fans, even like good power scalers, who will go one way without actually thinking. Well, if you don't think, you're not a good power scaler, bottom line. And that's what we're doing right here is we're thinking. So, yes, Vegeta can eat Goku's shots and get stronger, but if Vegeta cannot connect with Goku, if he's doing the mastery of self movement, that might not be a good choice. Now, let's not forget also that Goku did train in the Hakai. Now, he did not pull it off at all. He did not train the way Vegeta trained with Beerus. He did in the manga try to use the Hakai on Zamasu, but Vegeta understands how to manipulate Hakai energy now and can make people disappear. However, that goes back to the argument of would Vegeta make Goku straight up disappear if now they're still rivals, but they're not enemies. If this was a fight to the death, Vegeta would probably try to Hakai him quickly, but because this could end up being just a sparring match or see who's the better martial artist, that becomes a lot tougher. Plus, Goku's got access to a lot of different techniques as well. Vegeta seems to be more of a brawler, and Goku seems to be more of a just like traditional martial artist. But it does kind of feel like the longer the fight goes, the easier it is for Vegeta, because even though Goku has figured out Ultra Instinct far more than he did early on in the series, I don't have to say it, we said it. He has not figured out how to stay in that state for long, and because of that, he might end up not being able to stay in Ultra Instinct. Even if he goes True UI where he has to concentrate, I agree with you, it'll be harder for Goku, but at the same, or I'm sorry, it'll be harder for Goku to concentrate, but it might be easier for him to win at that point. It's not an easy, it's not a pick 'em fight, because there's a lot there.
Goku should be far, far stronger than Vegeta, but they gave Vegeta a lot of big boosts, so which they kind of the granola arc kind of broke the scale a little bit, so it just kind of make you wonder where the scale is going at. But that's a different topic for a different day. We
Right.
on Goku and Vegeta, so
Yeah, and
uh,
the thing is, they both know each other very well. I do feel like both Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego represent two different sides of a coin. I did a whole video with Jordan about like the philosophy behind the techniques and kind of how they're similar and different. But at the same time, I feel like Goku should be stronger. And I think, as you said, it's funny to me, bro, because like I see people in the comments saying stuff like, well, Ultra Ego sucks 'cause he couldn't kill anybody. Like, I don't understand this idea that fans have that if a form does not kill a villain, it's useless. Like, if Vegeta didn't have Ultra Ego, Granola would have one-shotted him. Like, I don't like the idea of a form being quote-unquote useless. Like, it's kind of a stupid thing to say. Because,
Yeah.
again, if Goku didn't have Super Saiyan 3 when he fought Fat Boo in West City, he would have been destroyed easily. Like, these forms, a form does not have to kill a villain for it to be relevant or for it to be, a good form. I've never believed that. I don't understand what people do. I think that Ultra Ego Vegeta now, it's just the beginning. I think it's just the beginning with him. I think there's going to be more for him to learn. I think Goku at some point will master UI as far as having it turned on at all times, but we're not there yet with them. If we're going to be
Yeah.
honest, bro, would you say that they're like basically, let me just use like brown belts or blue belts? Not in regular martial arts. I mean, with UI and UE. They're not black belts yet. They're working their way up.
Yeah. Well, Vegeta would be Vegeta would be what starting out
Yellow?
uh, wait, white or something. I don't
White
know.
is the first one, but because he was able to
Mm,
access the form, I'd put him at like yellow. It's different depending on what martial arts style you take, but I know that usually it's yellow after white, depending on what style.
yeah. I mean, Goku would probably be like a brown belt
Yeah,
and UI, but because you got to look at Goku since he's been training so long in Ultra Instinct.
yeah, he had
Ultra
longer.
Instinct, yeah, which is why he should be way much stronger, but uh he might still be way much stronger actually with the avatar. They got that little avatar state or the
Yeah, the
UI
Susanoo or
construct.
whatever,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
So
mean, does Vegeta have a counter for that though?
no, not even gas at a counter. That's another thing too though with Ultra Instinct. That's with true Ultra Instinct Goku. He should be much stronger than Vegeta because he was stronger than Gas, and then Gas got stronger, and then he was still able to damage Gas, and he came back. Goku. I think Goku would take the win. It's just Vegeta knows how Goku fights. It's Vegeta. When you have that rival opponent where he just has your number or he just knows you. It it kind of comes out where like he just get the best of you or he could give you the best matchup because he knows or whatever. So it
Yeah,
depends.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would take Goku.
Go ahead.
I was just saying I would take Goku. In the end, I think Goku would outlast Vegeta. But
Yeah, I feel like Ultra Instinct, even though Ultra Ego fits Vegeta more, I do think Ultra Instinct is more useful for combat, both fights to the kill and fights to the martial arts. I think that Vegeta is now a more effective killer. So if he were coming after Goku full bore, it might be a slightly different story. But I also think that UI seems to be more of a technique that fits for like tournaments and things like that, fighting against guys like Jiren and Hit. Those type of dudes that defy the laws of physics. They can break through the laws of time. UI can do stuff like that, as wild as it may sound. We saw him do it in the Super Anime. But Vegeta, when it comes to like taking out multiple opponents and just straight up killing them without there being a real fight, quote unquote, I feel like that's where that form is useful. And that fits with Vegeta. I mean, Hakaishin, God of Destruction. It's not God of martial arts or God of victory. It's destruction. It doesn't matter if you're a better martial artist. His job is to destroy you. Whereas Goku, I think, is a better martial artist, and because of that, he wins the fight. I think, even as you said, if Vegeta goes for the Hakai on Goku, he's had so much training with Whis that at this point he would be able to either nullify the Hakai or just get out of the way, whichever one works. And I think that ultimately, like we talked about, Vegeta can absorb those blows, but I think eventually he will get tired and Goku will punch him out. But at the same time, Goku's also been known to like get knocked out of UI once in a while. So it really
yeah,
isn't that simple, but I think I agree with you. I think Goku is the choice here. And I do want comments down below from people if you think Vegeta would win the fight, let us know why. Like, I want to specifically read why you think that, not just as your favorite character. I want to actually read a theory as to why you think Ultra Ego Vegeta would win.
I also think the time period matters too. Are we talking about at after superhero, we're talking
Right
about,
now, yeah, superhero. Right now, I think
oh,
that
okay.
makes sense, right?
Okay. Yeah, that would even be harder because I guess, with Vegeta imitating and implementing Jiren's,
The
training
meditation,
and
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a lot more interesting. That means his ultra ego might be a lot stronger too. So it might give him a boost or something. I
He
don't know.
did win the fight with no forms in the movie. We saw that.
Yeah, but I don't really count that, man.
Nah, it was a sparring
I
match.
like yeah, because Goku's won plenty of sparring matches or whatever. So, and I think people forget that. So,
But
I
it
mean,
is funny to me though because he wins the fight, right? And people were like losing their minds over it when it was just a sparring match, and we said no blast, no forms. This discussion you and I are having are with blast and with forms. So basically,
yeah,
at their best.
yeah,
Um,
at their best, yeah, I definitely think Goku will have the upper hand because he has more techniques, and you know that comes into a factor with Kaioken, and he could absorb Genki and all of that stuff,
I don't think
good
he would
stuff.
even use Kaioken. I think Kaioken against Ultra Ego would be a bad idea, bro, because it feels like Ultra Ego would just eat that. You know what I mean?
Eh, would it? I mean, I think at the beginning, maybe at the beginning, but let's just say if he has since does have complete control over TUR, dang, I didn't even think about that. He probably can use Kaioken with it.
He could, but would he? Because that feels like Vegeta would just, absorb that, make himself stronger,
Yeah,
take the
he
power
gets
away.
stronger, but he
Yeah,
also
because
can't take too much damage.
force
You know,
spirit,
he'll
but force spirit fission. See, that's what I'm saying. This is not an easy thing to talk about because force spirit fission can manipulate energy, and so like it's almost like physically, Goku can't really be touched in the fight if he keeps activating UI properly. Whereas Vegeta, as far as blasts go and energy, he can't be touched. This is a
but
very
yeah.
interesting fight. It
Vegeta,
is.
yeah, Vegeta using Force Spirit Fisher could probably, separate Ultra Ultra Instinct from Goku, and he wouldn't be able to use
I don't know
uh
about that. That I mean that if we see
uh
if we see that, bro, that's gonna be mind blowing.
um
Because he didn't do it
it could
tomorrow.
probably happen.
He didn't do it tomorrow though. He didn't separate Moro's UI. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
no.
Yeah, because UI is a technique. Like I know he can separate fusions and energy. I'm guessing. Okay, I'm guessing he might be able to separate the Kaioken, or at least absorb the Kaioken, or absorb, um, some of the blows from Goku. But I'm not sure if he can just turn off UI like that. We haven't seen him do that yet. He might be able
Well,
to.
didn't he try to do that against Moro though? I don't really
I don't think
remember it.
so. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he used Force Spirit Fission, but he did not turn off UI. So UI
uh,
is that's a different thing. Anyways, bro, thanks for stopping by. I had a good time with you. This is not an easy thing to discuss because it is a lot more balanced than I think people realize.
true. UI is just on a different level of mental and well, you don't even really think. That's the
Yeah,
whole thing.
right,
Separate the body from the mind. If you separate the body from the mind, the body moves faster, and the mind be free.
right.
So,
It's beautiful. Anyways, check out Prided, y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.